Yeah, apparently. Your microphone down in Skype. Yeah. Alright guys, so the game is about to kick off and we'll start off this lower bracket final between Ascension Gaming and Yes Tidehunter are the two teams that have made it through this far. And sorry about any audio issues earlier. Let us know if they're fixed. There's a 2-minute delay, so we'll try and fix them as soon as we hear them. And we will jump into the picking.
And right off the bat, they Ascension Gaming banned Coddle.
Yeah, interesting first ban for them here, and Batrider's fairly standard from Tidehunter. Coddle ban here, I guess if they don't want to play it themselves, they don't want to see it played, and it is a hero they do like to pick up. Magnus ban there from Ascension Gaming. We know they were talking earlier that they were thoroughly sick of playing that hero, so not surprised to see that in their first ban, and they obviously don't want Tidehunter to be picking that up. Nick's ban fairly standard out there, and Ascension grabbing their Rubik up straight off the bat. Not really giving too much away yet, although interesting as a first pick. They can play that hero both mid or put it on as a tri-lane support. And we have a Gyro Shadow Demon nasty combination pickup from Yes Tidehunter there. I know you're a fan of the Gyrocopter pickup. What do you think about that, Axel?
Yeah, I think the Gyro pickup is quite good. I don't know how wise it is picking it up straight up against the Rubik. The Rubik can still, you know, the call down. Yeah, I think the Gyro will be probably looking to get a heap of farm in the safe lane. Early BKB and push hard.
Push hard. And the synergy between him and Shadow Demon, obviously, you get the disruption and then a cooldown on top of that. Pretty devastating for anyone caught in that. So Ascension taking their time with this last pick here. And they're going to get the Queen of Pain. And that is likely going to make Rubik be their support tri-lane hero there, and Queen of Pain taking up the mid. See what they pick up next. Queen of Pain, devastating hero really. So much damage output from her, and obviously the maneuverability in the mid lane. She can easily go for those runes and cause a lot of problems early game with the ganks. So it'd be good to watch them play her. I don't think we've seen them play her tonight.
They played against her twice.
So maybe a fair pick. They've been up and down in between the lower bracket and the top bracket. And that's a Luna pickup from them. So that's showing the cards fairly early with the Luna pickup, not wanting to mess around with any other hero. And Puck pickup from Yes Tidehunter.
Quite a good counter mid hero to the Queen of Pain. You know, he can phase in and out to block any of Queen of Pain's attacks. He also has that silence which can help him out in a pinch. I think Puck's quite a good pick.
He's a good pick, and Dream Coil's always very handy if you've got that cooldown happening from the Gyrocopter and he's jumped in and doing all his damage that he does. Having a Dream Coil holding everyone in place is pretty handy. So Puck a solid pick up there, and we've seen the Lone Druid ban out, and interesting there because they've already got the Luna. I can't see them really Ascension really wanting to pick up a Lone Druid in that combination there, but they ban it out anyway, and a Leshrac Lena ban, very, very obvious there. They don't want that Shadow Demon combining up with those stuns. He basically makes Lena and Leshrac hit those stuns without any problem. So
well, Shadow Demon and Rubik are the two heroes that you really want to have a follow-up stun with, so banning out Leshrac and Lena, who are the two delayed stuns, is actually quite good. It means that they're limiting their choices in terms of stunners. You know, you could possibly pick up a Sven with his Stormbolt, or you could pick up a Jakiro to follow up on the Shadow Demons. Yeah.
Yeah, it is the main thing with the Shadow Demon and his disruption.
10 seconds remaining.
How useful is that compared to the other heroes? And obviously there's the link in with the Gyrocopter, but Ascension don't want to be dealing with that chain stun that they had in that last game we just watched against Joy. And last ban up there is going to be the Shadow Shaman and an Undying from Yes Tidehunter. Ascension Gaming have been running Undying a little bit as a support hero and doing a good job there, so maybe a little bit of a respect ban, and he's a solid hero. And we see the Axe pickup. May seem a little strange, but the Timbersaw. This is a combination these guys really like to run. Sometimes it does seem a little strange, but Timbersaw on the off lane, played by Quetzalcoatl. We've already seen it once tonight, and it can be very devastating. And I'm assuming it'll be Amaral up on the Axe again. He tends to start off in the jungle and do a little bit of lane cutting, so picked a couple of heroes that may not be in the current meta so much, but still fun to play. And Yes Tidehunter finishing up with a Life Stealer, who is such a strong carry late game. Once he gets his farm on, popping out. He's pretty good. So, Axis, did you want to go through Yes Tidehunter's heroes for me?
Okay, yeah, so Yes Tidehunter, they've picked up Gyrocopter, and he's going to be playing by Stitch. Kithix is going to be playing Pucks in the middle, I imagine. Cleo's got the Life Stealer, he's going to be playing that. Chikiro is played by ITK, and Holkane is playing Shadow Demon.
Okay, now Ascension Gaming have Amro, as I said, was going to take the axe, and looks like he is going to head towards the jungle. We have Salty Pete up on the Rubik as a support Rubik, and the maybe a tri-lane or maybe just a dual lane here with the Luna, played out by Romantic. And mid lane we have Spectral up on the Queen of Pain, and solo top we have our Timbersaw with Quetzalcoatl, and he tends to have a lot of fun on this hero, so this is going to be a good lane to watch. Interesting, we have the Gyro solo laning at the top, unless his supports decide to come join him. We've got 4 heroes from Yes Tidehunter down here. They are chasing this Rubik down, maybe trying to get that disruption off. Can they get into range? They can't get into range, and Salty Pete and Romantic will get back to safety. It did allow Yes Tidehunter to drop this ward up down here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they run this. You've got Puck moving up towards the mids. It looks like they're going to have a tri-lane bottom for Yes Tidehunter, which means that they're going to have Nakes and Gyro farming up quite heavily. You're running two carries, you're going to have to get as much farm as possible out of it.
Yeah, now this aggressive tri-lane is interesting. I mean, Nakes can put out a lot of damage, but he doesn't have a stun, so they are really relying on the disruption and the ice path to do all that work for him, and him to get the positioning in there to do the damage. Will be interesting to see how they fare against the Luna and the Rubik. And,
so Axe is going to be farming up that jungle, as we said. He's taking the level 1 counter helix to farm up those easy creeps. Queen of Pain in the middle, going up against the Puck, as we said. Puck fades in and out, and he's taking that level 1. No mana cost for the phase shift, so it's quite easy to spam it for 6 second cooldown, sorry.
So hopefully we see a little bit of early game action here from this aggressive tri-lane. Otherwise, there's not a lot of point really running it, because it is risky. So they want to try and be looking for those early kills. They have got the ward up here blocking this camp, so Salty Pete isn't able to do much there. Disruption up, a little bit cheeky. There's not going to be any follow-up damage, but it's enough to harass him back, and leaving the Luna there a little bit vulnerable at her tower. And we've got on the top lane here, just seeing the Gyro and the Timbersaw having a little bit of a bash at each other, chain through, Whirling Death actually doing quite a bit of damage, but then Rocket Barrage in turn. Both getting close to half health there, so having a little bit of a play, not really following through much on that after.
Yeah, this bottom lane looks like they're setting up. Shadow Demon is just ready on the outside of that tower.
And so it's looking for an easy initiation on either of these heroes. If they so much as poke their noses back into the jungle to try and do a pull or get a little out of position, just the Shadow Demon's going to go straight for that disruption. And Nate's just having a fairly good time of it, getting the last hits there. Luna not so much, she's got a very short range, so it's fairly dangerous for her to go out, especially if there's an ice path and a disruption there waiting for her. She's not having the best time of it. So far, 3 vs 2, working out okay for Yes Tidehunter. And we've got on the top lane here, the balance is pretty even actually. I was thinking Timbersaw was getting pushed back a little bit. And normally we see Timbersaw up against the tri-lane and just bouncing between those supports, doing that damage. But in this case, he's fairly evenly matched, I think. Queen of Pain picking up a DD room. She's going to look in to come on the Puck. Puck orbs through. Silence on the Queen of Pain. Spectral dropping very, very low. Having to go up through the trees. Eats a tango. I'm actually surprised that Kithix didn't decide to chase it through. A little afraid perhaps of the damage the Queen of Pain can put out with a double damage rune, but I think he missed out on a kill there by being a little bit cagey perhaps, but maybe he'll follow through here. Queen of Pain, Spectral blinking out of safety there.
Yeah, he got unlucky with the illusory orb, sorry. An average player who would have continued to walk into that, and we've got first blood up
top lane, missed the first blood. We have Gyro, and I'm assuming Timbersaw trading blows, manning up again. And on the bottom lane here, we have a disruption up on the Luna. She's getting caught out. Telekinesis throws Life Stealer back out of the way. Ice Path doesn't hit anybody. And
good telekinesis there.
Yeah, it was definitely saved Life. Luna letting Life Stealer have to chase after again, and he's got no boots, so he's not very fast.
He hasn't put a point into rage yet, Nick, so early on there's only a chance you're going to get one of those telekinesis off. Telekinesis?
Many telekinesis. Back to Mouse and Mouse-Eye again. Mouse. The English language is hard, let's be honest. Spectral dropping very low on this mid lane here. Just getting harassed out by this Puck, and Puck stays shipping out to get out of trouble. Not running a bottle yet on the Puck, so he's chewing through his mana quite a lot, whereas Spectral's got that bottle, he's able to get back up to full health, full mana.
The bottle's coming out to the Puck now from the courier, as well as his Ring of Basilius, so... And Shadow Demon. Just got stole the last hit on the Rubik in the bottom lane, and yeah, they're now up 2-0.
2-0, favouring Yes Tidehunter. And top lane again, these two heroes playing with each other again. Quetzalcoatl forced right back to his tower, and Stitch able to do that with the points up in Rocket Barrage, and just hammering his Timbersaw, who usually likes having the mobility. Bottom lane here, Admiral's decided to come join the party. He's dropped very low from that Shadow Poison.
He picked up a haste rune, so he thought he'd try and get in and try and do as much damage as he could. He got the Jakiro and the Nake's pretty low, but you know, not low enough to warrant him leaving the jungle, I don't think.
And they've tried a couple of times to sort of slow this last stealer's farm down, but he's still getting quite a bit of momentum up there, so it'll remain to see. They don't really have the stuns up. They've got telekinesis, Lunar stun. It's not bad, but it chews through a mana, and at the moment, you know, she doesn't have a clarity. She's got no mana for all that stun, so then they're not really going to find it very easy to bring down this last stealer unless we see a rotation out from the co-op.
If you have a looking at the last hits, it seems that yeah, Jaire's having a good time up the top lane. You know, he's got 23 and 4 versus a 10 and 4 from the Timbersaw. You know, he's got his Tranquils, he's got his Ring of Basilius. He looks like he's going alright up there. As you know, the middle lane Puck is actually going alright against the Queen of Pain as well.
Yeah, exactly. These lanes that they're favouring currently, the early lane is favouring Yes Tidehunter, and this tri lane, which we said they needed to turn it into early kills, and they are managing that, so it's paying off for them. If it doesn't, they generally have to rotate out, but at this stage, I mean, they know Admiral's in there farming in the jungle, but they've blocked out that camp again, so there won't be any pulls up for them. At this stage, they're getting the kills, so this aggressive tri lane is paying off for them. Lifestealer looks like he's going for a Hand of Midas, and farming up quite happily towards that with 25 last hit. Puck got the regen rune in the mid there.
Admiral's pinging into the bottom lane. Here he comes in.
And so there's the Lunar Stun out on the Lifestealer. Not really doing much. Disruption in on Admiral. He gets hit by an Ice Path. Lifestealer rages, chasing after Admiral, but Lifestealer does not have his boots yet. Cleo getting away with barely any health left from those right clicks of the Lunar and the and Salty Pete. And the Battle Hunger up on that Shadow Demon. He's put 2 points in Battle Hunger, so it does do a fair bit of damage now. So
you can see Puck coming in, or he thought about it. He's turned away, waiting for...
Disruption up on Admiral, who's chasing down that Shadow Demon, trying to finish the job, but he's now caught in the river between a Lifestealer and Ice Path, and he is going to drop down. So a little out of position there from Admiral, getting a bit greedy, chasing down that Shadow Demon, and he will drop down. Lifestealer taking the last hit on that hero, so another kill for Yes Tidehunter. And we've got Queen of Pain getting a little more room in the mid to farm there, so she's keeping up with the Puck, 19 to 21, not too bad, and both just running their bottle at this stage. Queen of Pain rotating to the top, Quetzalcoatl chain in, Rocket Barrage coming out, Quetzalcoatl dropping very low, but Chakram taking the mana from that gyro. Queen of Pain will go in, right click, drops the salve, but they can't chase under the tower. Spectral taking too much damage from that creep wave.
See Puck coming up the middle river as well.
Puck's going to look for a pick-off on this low Queen of Pain. He might actually get it. She's very low, and that was a very, very good ball through from the Puck.
So they're at 4-0 now.
4-0.
Yes.
This laning phase is really, really hitting Ascension Gaming quite hard. This tri-laner now probably going to look to... I was going to say they might look to try and push a little bit with these other heroes gone, but still got Lunar and Salty Pete here. But in terms of last hits and in terms of kills, Yes Tide are definitely getting the momentum they need, especially on that gyro. He's sitting on 34 last hits. He's got his Ring of a Killer. He does get initiated on by the Timbersaw again. He's tanking up the tower damage, and he does drop down. And Okay, Lifestealer has his Hand of Midas up, and supports are still sitting pretty basic. Boots up on the Jakiro now. Puck floating along, still just with his bottle. And Queen of Pain also just running the bottle. And what have we got up on here? So Axe has got his Tranquil Boots up, and Gyro sitting with his Ring Overkiller very low, hugging his tower. If Axe can get a Battle Hunger off, probably wouldn't be enough to drop him down, but he's going to pop his Tranquil Boots and hide in the trees there, so he's not taking any risks. And Quetzalcoatl needing Axe up there in the jungle now to help him out. Sorry about the level of background noise, those of you listening in. We're at LAN with 600 gamers and about 4 events running consecutively with the StarCraft casters next to us too. So it's quite noisy, but we do what we can.
We all know how excited the StarCraft guys get over their little game.
Over their game. No, we love all games. Telekinesis up on the Shadow Demon. Luna's going to right click. Good self-disruption there. Stops the Queen of Pain damage. But,
bit of an overkill of an ulti.
Overkill on the ulti, but they really wanted that kill.
Puts them on the board at least for now, which
What they want.
10 minutes in is always good to get the first kill, their first kill.
That was a good rotation down from Spectral and Amaral coming back down from the top lane. We've got Gyro chasing Quetzalcoatl back to his tower again. He's just having to play it really safe. I mean, he's getting the levels up. He's level 7, but to that, the Gyrocopter's level 9. So not a very even lane up on that top lane there. Lifestealer's heading back to base to try and heal up. He has no regen. King's coming out from Spectral. He's asking them to check the rune. They don't have a lot of vision at the moment. They've got a little bit over here to try and stop the ganks out from Yes Tidehunter, but they have no vision of their rune, so it makes life a bit hard. Puck initiates in, orbs through, Dream Coil on the quad, and the last right click doesn't actually bring her down, so ulti from the Puck, trying to grab that Queen of Pain, doesn't quite get it apart.
Apologies.
Stuff in the StarCraft Grand Final.
Hopefully
they're going to
Radiant's mid tower.
don't make so much noise. But Queen of Pain getting away with an inch of her life.
Ascension do have that vision up now in their bottom lane, so they can see the fact that Shadow Demon's just around the corner there.
We have the Timbersaw. Quetzalcoatl has TP'd in, looking for a gank up on this tri lane. They've had enough of these guys messing around with them. They're going to try and turn something around. Shadow Demon disrupts on Salty Pete, but Quetzalcoatl leaping in. Chakram on the Shadow Demon actually misses. Lifestealer jumps in, cleans up the mess with Rubik. And he's getting chased down by Queen of Pain and Luna. Done out of the Lifestealer. Queen of Pain doesn't quite hit him with her scream, but she does right click him down.
Puck has popped the silence. Nearly got that Queen of Pain there.
Luna in a lot of trouble. Chased after that Puck, but just misses the ice path. So Romantic should be able to get away. Puck orb coming through, doesn't get through. Last right click doesn't come off.
Oh no!
Right. Gets the last pick off with that last right click. I didn't actually see that happen.
I didn't see the actual
Motion
projectile didn't actually fly, I don't think, but yeah, he...
So, not sure that was a very even trade for Ascension. They got a couple of heroes, but they lost Luna again, and she is not having the best time. She's sitting on 26 last hit, and that's not where you want your safe lane carry to be sitting. So, TP's back in from Ascension Gaming. They're looking to defend the tower. Orb out from Puck. Luna ulti, taking through that Puck help. Ice Path does hit the Luna, but nothing Jakiro can do to save Puck. Queen of Pain does drop down. But, Salty Pete chasing the Puck, or dodges telekinesis. And Quetzalcoatl, good orb out. Doesn't actually know what direction, and he's very low, but he uses the chain to try and get him. Face shift again. Lifestealer was coming to pop up the Timbersaw. This Puck is just being super cheeky with these face shifts.
He's been very, very good. He's been there when his team needed him. He's popping out those illusionary orbs just to get that extra damage, and facing out at the right time.
And that's 3 heroes down for Ascension. So 4-12 on the board. Yes, Tidehunter, their Gyro's now got their Yashara up. And, a little bit of lag coming out here. We're having a little bit of lag issues on the server at the moment. The land's struggling a little bit, and so hopefully we won't get disconnect, but all the players are experiencing the same lag, so hopefully it doesn't unbalance the game too much. Salty Pete still looking pretty bare with his boots and wards. Queen of Pain still just a bottle and her boots. not having the best time of it. Gyro's found Amaral in the jungle using Rocket Barrage to try and bring him down, but Queen of Pain's going to be there. The pull down, hits the Queen of Pain. She is so low, she's going to drop down. Telekinesis up, saving Amaral and getting the last hit on that gyrocopter.
Well, it was a kill they sorely needed. Unfortunately, Queen of Pain went down for it, but...
Still a decent trade, I believe, between the Queen of Pain and the Gyro, and they're chasing down this Shadow Demon. Spectral has stolen... What's he stolen? He's stolen Shadow for his so won't do heat. Shackram is in there holding back that creep wave and cutting through Shadow Demon's health. Setting up. Ice Path hits the Luna. Lifestealer went in to try and go for it, but Telekinesis comes in, Salty Pete with the backup, throwing Jakiro back out of the way.
You know, he used his magic stick charges to get some health back there. Otherwise, you know, Rubik could have popped out his Fade Bolt and probably could have got a kill there. We see Puck is nearly pushed down this top tower now. Oh. Except we have Axe TPing in.
Isn't within deny range yet though, so Amaral can't deny that tower. He's in there just to push back to the Puck, and that's a pause for the lag there. A little bit of server issues. Players are getting quite frustrated with it. We might just do a quick save. Oh, it's not going to let me. Alright. Hopefully the autosave works out. We've had a few disconnects from the games today. Those of you watching the StarCraft stream and not getting the sound, we've tested it and it seems to be working. So maybe try and refresh their stream there. Otherwise, hopefully the sound's okay in this game. Okay,
well, if not, you can listen to our game. You can probably hear their sound from here.
Yeah, you can probably hear them through our sound. So yeah, that would be good. Ascension Gaming playing on the defensive here. They really don't want to lose any towers at the moment because they're far behind on farm. They're sitting at with the Gyro up on 62 last hits. He's powering ahead of them quite a lot. I'm going to find him. What do you think about this decision to go Timbersaw and Axe again? I mean, we saw it work very well earlier, but that solo lane.
Yeah, it didn't really have the desired effect. You said before, you know, the going back and forth between the two supports, you know, he's going to get as much damage, you know, maximize his damage, but you know, he's playing against Gyro. He's not just, you know, one hero.
It didn't quite work out for him, and now so without having those early kills on the board, he's sort of been slowed down a fair bit. Hopefully he can get some momentum back up. And meanwhile, this Lifestealer's got his Henemitis, he's got his Phase Boots up, and he's just continuing farming, and he's not really having any trouble at all with that farm. The Jakiro Shadow Demon, 2 stuns to just cause him trouble, and they're actually going to rotate around towards, or they're just going to drop a ward together and check out the rune. And we've got Gyro coming back down through the jungle. Ascension Gaming do have a ward up here, so they can see this out.
More lag.
The pause up, more lag. We're doing alright from here, so it might just be a couple of the...
I'm seeing a few little glitches on the screen, but nothing that's huge.
Now, Queen of Pain still just sitting with boots in a bottle. We're 15 minutes in, so yeah, interesting to see if she can find a little bit of space, catch up a little bit. She tapers off late game, so she really needs to be being effective in this early game and getting those kills up on the board. Luna with a poor man's shield and power tread, so that's about it on her. Quetzalcoatl has his arcane boots up. That's going to help him a lot. He's going to be able to have Chakram out a lot more of the time now, so the extra mana, big help for that hero. Jakiro also has mana boots up. Shadow Demon walking around with Tango. But saying that, you don't really need a lot of items to be able to do a good disruption. So he's still very much a big player in this game despite having nothing but Tangos. And let's see, they're talking about doing a remake. And going into Northbridge for Nando's as well. So food run apparently mid-game. Hopefully they're only joking about that. We've already been here for a long time.
Otherwise we'll see you in about 45 minutes to finish the rest of this game.
And Amaral's sitting up there. He's got his Tranquility boots, Tranquility, and a Ring of Health. So
yeah, he's looking to build his Vanguard up.
The Blink Dagger on the Puck is definitely going to help out with this initiation. And this Puck has been Kithix with the phase shifts, just dodging everything, driving Ascension Gaming absolutely mad, I think, because he's been on such low health. And we're going to see some good blink out and Dream Coil from him, we hope. We're just waiting for the ping. And it looks like they're going to oh, actually, no, we might actually have a game disconnect. Yes, we do.
Okay.
All right. So those of you watching stream, bear with us. We're going to try reconnect, but I don't think that's going to work. We'll see. And meanwhile, pop the cameras back on. Hi, guys. And sit in there. So yeah, unfortunately at RFLAN, because there are so many people here streaming, playing, downloading, watching games on Twitch, there is a lot of bandwidth usage and it's causing a lot of problems for the players. But such is life. It's still good fun to be down here.
It is good.
It is midnight at the moment in Perth, Western Australia, for those of you watching from elsewhere.
Quite a long day so far, and I imagine we still got
this game
and the grand final to come.
And then a best of 3 grand final coming up after this. So got our energy drinks and we should be good. All right, they're going to start up and unpause the game. Hopefully the lag is okay. The score will be bugged on the screen. So we will have to keep you updated on that one as we go along, just by checking the scoreboard in here. Those of you in Dota TV can reconnect to the game if you need to, hopefully. And those of you watching the stream, I will switch the overlays and we will carry on. Alright. Bottom lane here, Ice Path does hit Quetzalcoatl. He drops down through that rocket barrage. Admiral charging him. Manages to get that killing blow on the gyro. He drops very quickly. Telekinesis up on the hero. Hits Ice Path on 3 heroes. Drops down holding heat before going down himself.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
So that was a 3-2 trade for those heroes there. So, oh no, it might be a 3-3. The self-destruction there isn't actually going to save him from this. Queen of Pain should still get the last right hit. There we go. Sit down.
Ooh, I love your
okay, just going to get access to reconnect in to the game. I think he disconnected from the game. Okay, so my co-caster access isn't going to be in Dota TV for this.
If you're listening to the stream, I'll be there.
If you're listening to the stream, you'll be able to hear him. Meanwhile, he can watch the in-game stream himself and maybe not disconnect straight away next time the game shuts down. Rocket Barrage up on Quetzalcoatl there. He does his chain to get out of the way and gets out of safety. Dream Coil on him will hold him in place, so another Timber Chain.
6 in a row.
And he's going to drop down to the right click. Salty Pete TPing in there, but he's on his own now. Might just look to try and get the denial on this tower if he can. It's definitely within range, but he should be right there. You should still be able to, when Dota starts up, move the camera around and see the game. Meanwhile, just watch on my computer screen.
2 minutes behind though, which is a little bit unfortunate.
And that's the Vanguard flying out to act, so it's going to be a little tankier now. Hopefully if you have to cause some trouble in those fights, but yes, Tidehunter going to take down that tower without any further contention there. Ascension Gaming giving it up, realising they can't defend it.
So that's all the tier 1s down for Ascension Gaming. Yes, Tidehunter have done quite well getting those down early on.
Yeah, that's right. There are still 3 tier 1s up on the side of no Tidehunter, so they've got that map control. Oh, Emerald getting caught out here. Ice Path does hit him. The lifesteal is just going to bring him down. Rage Fox there as well. A little bit of a caught out of position there. Cycling from the lifesteal from the jungle. Catching him unawares. We've got Puck coming through to the mid. Blink in. Tries to walk through the Luna, but she runs in the other direction and falls out to safety once she realises there's 3 heroes there. Gyro farming up the jungle there. Has a Yasha up.
Have fun trying to bust down.
And yes, Tidehunter trying to beat down this tier 2 tower.
Seen better days.
Ice Path does hit one hero, hits Quetzalcoatl. Glyph used out to try and defend this tower, but they don't have Glyph anymore. A few little glitches coming out from the force here. Chakra goes to blow out. Luna ult hits 2 heroes, but Spectral drops down. Not Spectral, sorry. Salty Pete drops down. Raged up lifesteal is hitting through those heroes. Drops down the Luna, drops down the Salty Pete. Chakram taking down the puck. Quetzalcoatl on 40 life points getting away. Ice Path doesn't hit anyone, neither does Fall Down. A little bit of an air thing, but Admiral will drop down. And they're going to easily take down the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower's done for.
Alright, so Axis has access to his game now, but he's on a 2-minute delay, so it's going to be a little bit frustrating.
It'd be kind of awkward if I start talking and you have to answer, and so I just try and keep quiet as much as I can and just help you out just for the rest of this game. But now lessons learned. Don't let Axis be in charge of running the Dota on his computer.
Exactly. Puck's just going to farm out through Ascension's thing here, and he's got his point booster up on him and Power Tread. BKB looks like the next item that Stitch is going for. I'm not sure about that casual Yasha there. He's changed his mind a little bit about what he's building. Shadow Demon with wards, tangos and boots now, so he is now a rich man compared to how we saw him a little while ago, and that's a Skull Basher up on the Lifestealer. So he's going to have an easier time chasing people down now with his phase boots and stunning them with that Skull Basher. And they're farming up quite comfortably in Ascension jungle. Telekinesis up on the Shadow Demon, got a raged up Lifestealer, jumps straight in. Recoil not popped yet, but Puck goes in.
Somebody's cooking.
Wow, 3 heroes down from Ascension Gaming, and the damage out from Gyrocopter doing most of that mess there. Picking up a double kill, I believe, for him. So a little bit of a messy time here for Ascension Gaming. Let's have a look at XP graph is favouring Yes Tide, as is the gold graph. So looking good for them on those levels there. We've seen Gyro played a little bit tonight, and he's known to be a solid hero, and it's definitely been proved here. I mean, you were saying before you believe this to be one of the strongest heroes. Do you think he should have been banned first? Is that?
Well, it just depends. You ban a Gyro, they pick up a PL. You ban a Gyro, they pick up a lone Druid. Both those two, heroes are both later than the Gyrocopter. However, the end result could nearly be the same.
So perhaps this Luna pick not getting the space she needs. I mean, she's sitting on 43 last hits. Net worth-wise, pretty much the middle of the pile, just above the support. So she's not having the greatest time in farm.
Yeah, having the Puck as a counter pick straight away to the Queen of Pain is already limited, or straight away limited Queen of Pain's involvement in the game. She's not going to get those early harassing on the Puck, and as we saw, the Puck was harassing her in return. Exactly,
and seeing the Queen of Pain is still sitting pretty bare bones on items as well. So later game, she's not actually going to be able to do much. She can't really do anything for that Lifestealer. Maybe she can take out the support, but once Gyro gets his BKB as well, Queen of Pain's ability to do that damage is really nullified. Just a little bit of a standoff here. Yes Tide have got wards all through Ascension's jungle, so they know exactly where they're farming and what they're doing. They know they have 4 or 5 heroes down there, so they're just content to keep the lanes pushed out. We've got Lifestealer farming up in the jungle. He has his Maelstrom up now, so that farm of his is just going to snowball now, causing a few problems. And Gyro also just sitting there, he's flying out his BKB next. And Gyro with a BKB, this stage of the game, 22 minutes in, when the other side doesn't have one, that's going to be pretty devastating in the next team fight. Saying that, do you see Ascension turning this game around, Axis? If they give Luna a little bit of space to farm, get some items up on her, can she out-carry a Gyro late game?
Well, she's still a couple thousand gold away from a BKB, whereas a Gyro has his BKB and Nakes has his Maelstrom. I think they're just a little bit too far behind. I'd like to be proven wrong, but I just think that the Nakes and the Gyro are just that little bit too far ahead that Luna's not going to be able to catch up.
Exactly, and without the tier 1 powers down for Yes Tide, they're not actually able to really push out and counter push these lanes yet, Ascension Gaming, so that they're still just trying to out-farm them and catch up on farm. Probably aware that they are a fair way behind though, so maybe looking for a couple of easy pickoffs. We see Queen of Pain and Quetzalcoatl coming up, looking for this Gyro. Timber Chain doesn't hit him. Cooldown's going to go through. Chakra Mount, BKB pops. Queen of Pain trying to get out of that Rocket Barrage, manages to slink away. Quetzalcoatl dropping really low. Salty Pete does steal Rocket Barrage. Ice Path on 2 heroes. Salty Pete is going to use his Rocket Barrage now, so that's a Rubik Rocket Barrage coming out, but not doing much damage. That's 3 heroes going to drop down there from Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, they tried to go for the 2-on-1 gank and it got turned around, and that just shows how far ahead the Gyro is at point in the game. The BKB, you know, it's just too strong for him.
Very fast rotation through from the Jakiro coming in and bringing in that ice pass into the game as well. Having that stun is really helping them out and letting them position, getting the life stealer get in space to get in there and get those right clicks off. So that's a tier 2 tower going down for Ascension Gaming. And Yes Tide are going to rotate up to the top and try and push that lane out a little bit. And they have got wards everywhere. There is not a patch of Ascension's territory that isn't covered by a ward at this stage.
They just seem to be going through the motions now, you know, finishing off the rest of the tier 2s. You imagine they'll probably pick up a Roshan here at some point, and then yeah, we'll at least try and get a rack to the Roshan Aegis.
Ascension is sitting here. They're going to try and defend this. There's not much else they can do at this stage. We do have Amaral still farming in the jungle, trying to get a little bit of space, looking for his Blink Dagger, I expect, but he's a long way off it. And pings are coming out here from Yes Tide. They want to go for Roche. And at this stage, Ascension, one, they don't have any vision of the Roche pit, so they're not going to know for sure that they've gone there. And I'm not actually sure they can take a team fight into the Roche pit at this stage. Can they really fight this? If they can get the jump on them and get a couple of pickoffs from the outer, they might. But yeah, not likely.
Well, you pop
into the Roche pit.
the Gyro can pop his BKB, the Nate can drop his Rage, and then Luna's ulti is negated.
And that Roche is dropping very quick. Ice Puffs can make it easier. Ascension possibly know what's going on. They haven't pinged out or anything. I think they feel like there might be a smoke gank incoming because they're hugging close to their cliff there. And maybe had just realised that Roche is about to go down.
Roche won't be stomping around.
And Gyro picks up the Aegis as predicted. He nearly has his butterfly up and running as well.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to interject in. I know it's a little hard because you're not watching the actual screen there, but try and interject where you can. A little bit of technical difficulties crippling our stream a little bit here. There we go. Quetzalcoatl just having a look with his chakram, really, trying to see where those heroes are.
Yeah, I like the way that they're still pushing out just that little bit more. You know, you've got the Luna up the top lane, or was up the top lane farming a little bit. So they're not totally out of the game yet, but, you know, I still think they're a little bit too far. A little bit too far behind.
That's right, and we've seen the momentum given to a Gyro before, and similar to that game with the Alchemist, without shutting him down, yeah, he's not going to get that, not going to get that room to catch up to him.
Well, Luna just picked up a BKB.
Oh, there you go. So they are slow and steadily trying to keep a little bit of momentum in their favour there. You're right, Luna does have a BKB up there. Everyone else, bits and pieces, Queen of Pain going for an Orchid. Puck, I'm not actually sure what he's doing there. He's there with the DD rune. And sitting in the trees, probably trying to look for an initiation out from there, but I can't see anyone coming out anytime soon. Quetzalcoatl just throwing that chakram out, clearing out the creep wave.
Yeah, he does have that blink, so he can come in straight away, but DD's gone now, so
now,
the rune.
Telekinesis on the Gyro, and Luna pops her ult. She's going to drop down, taking out the Aegis. Meanwhile, Dream Coil on two heroes. Salty Pete looking to drop down.
Puck goes down, Gyro goes down. Gyro had the Aegis, so she's back up.
That BKP Gyro just pounding through. Luna dropping, everyone dropping down to that Gyro's rocket barrage. A couple of buybacks there, chasing them out of their base. Kubik stealing the ice pass. Doesn't actually. Oh no, that was a Jakiro ice pass there. So I was going to say, didn't hit anyone. Didn't get an ice pass off now. Misses.
And Gyro goes down.
But Gyro did go down. He got a little bit greedy, obviously chasing up the kill on Spectral. He did get it.
But her rocket went off, and yeah, she got the seal.
In the end, that fight actually
Probably went in favour of
pretty
Ascension.
even, really. I don't know if it went either way. I mean, Ascension didn't lose their racks, and that's the main thing. That was the good thing about all those buybacks. And if you look at the golden XP, it just plateaued out at that point. So, showing they can turn this fight around. Luna with the BKB and a few buybacks. And perhaps Yes Tide getting a little bit too comfortable with their situation gave Ascension that space they needed. And we have a BKB up on the Jakiro, which at a 29-minute support really shouldn't have BKB, so clearly Yes Tide and having a good time of it on Magic Hero. Feeling good enough about life to be buying BKB.
One of the people watching our stream has just commented as to, why they picked up a Timbersaw in the game, and as we said earlier, they picked a Timbersaw to go up against an aggressive tri-lane, and it worked out perfectly for him, bouncing between the two supports. With this game he was unlucky and he went up against a solo gyro.
Yeah, exactly. And the way these teams draft is they hang a little bit of trouble going in here. Ruby Ice Path doesn't hit anybody, and Puck telekinesis up in the air. He should get away now. Chasing down the Shadow Demon. Queen of Pain blinking out of trouble, but Puck will finish her off. Chakram throwing out, just trying to pull off a little bit of mana off those heroes. A little bit of a weird positioning up there. I'm not entirely sure why they were fighting up there, but we will lose the Queen of Pain from that fight. And yeah, as you said, a little bit of a weird pick, I guess, in terms of meta, but Quetzalcoatl and Ascension Gaming do run Timbersaw quite a lot. It's at this level of gaming, people pick heroes that they like playing, and we've seen him completely demolish a defensive tri-lane with that hero.
Well, that's exactly right. You don't necessarily want to go for a hero that's in the current meta.
We have a Luna pops at BKB, but Rocket Crush still milks it now, and even through that BKB, she pops her ulti, but it doesn't actually do that much.
There's a GG call.
That's a GG call from Ascension Gaming. That last team fight, 4 heroes down. They don't get back to that. So, a bit of a sad game. We, in terms of we lose one of the teams who's been fighting throughout this whole tournament. But Yes Tide will go through now to play the best of 3 grand final against Joy. That should be a very good match, so stick around to watch that one. And we see Ascension Gaming dropping out of the RFLAN Dota tournament so far, but they had a good run and picked some interesting heroes for us, which always makes it fun for everyone. And they're all just going to have a little bit of fun out there now. So.
Yeah, hopefully next game we won't experience any sound issues, and I might be able to play in the Dota TV the whole game. But no, good work to Yes Tidehunter. They've played a very good game against a very strong Ascension Gaming, and it'll be a very interesting final.
It will be, and we hopefully will be jumping fairly quickly into the final. Those of you that have just tuned in, we're at RFLAN in the Curtin Stadium down in Bentley, near the university down here. The LAN is actually free for spectators, so if anyone's extremely bored on a Saturday night at nearly 12:30 in the morning, feel free to come down and look at the games going down here. There's console games, there's competitions, there's LOL, StarCraft, Dota, COD, all sorts of things. We're going to drop down the stream for a second and then come back ready for our best of 3 grand final against Joy and Yes Tide.